Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Rakak to honor the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to my Akim who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have done that. I needed that. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, shalom to my Akim who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakal coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson. Well, first off, let's start with this. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. And today's lesson, I'm going to be talking about basically how you have these different Jakes that are trying to find some way to go against the Hebrew Israelites, and it's become like a targeted thing where right now we have to discuss what are the Israelites doing? Or how do we get the Israelites, or how do we discredit the Israelites? How do we make them seem like they're wrong? How do we say? As a matter of fact, I literally just saw a video, this one video. I'm assuming that it should be on my subscription. Bear with me one moment. Here, right here. Oh gosh, wrong video. Elder Brother Manak Zakpa just uploaded that video. I'll just go to his channel instead. Over here, basically over here is where it says there's this other video. It's just like literally everybody. Literally everybody and their mother needs to discuss the Hebrew Israelites, needs to talk about the Hebrew Israelites, needs to say the Hebrew Israelites are not real, they're lying, they're this, that, and they're blah, blah, all this crap. Slakia. It's just like, it is all over the place. It's not on the media, it's not on news networks, but it's like a big major thing. It's like a big major thing to talk about. Like it's kind of like, not like, I wouldn't even say underground, but it's more so like if you know, and then you'll know that people are talking about it and discussing it and stuff like that. And this is where like this big discussion, this big controversy is where you have not just Edomites but also Jakes freaking fighting tooth and nail to disprove us. You also have that one dude named Cooley who literally got utterly embarrassed by Israelites, and he Slakia, he literally basically hired a Christian debater to freaking prove himself right. It was the funniest thing ever. I didn't see the whole thing. All I did was look at like 10 minutes max of it, and obviously I don't support that, but you're gonna get freaking Jakes that go to do this type of stuff. It's like, oh well, like I guess, all right. Which I'm not saying go watch it, because it's really a waste of time, and you don't really gain anything from it. It's all it is just a big thing of who's trying to who can they make the other side look stupid? Can they embarrass the other side? Can they do this, 10, and third? And it's like that. That's basically that's what these debates are. Debates aren't actually about finding common ground or trying to convince the other side. It's really just to be as dishonest as you can in order to make your opponent look like an idiot and pretend to be cool afterwards. And hell, maybe they are cool with each other, but it's really just like for content and to continue to milk the same thing in order to make money, because for some reason people like seeing people argue about theology and ideology and whatnot. All right, so this is where we're at. Also, in addition to that, I just noticed, not just me, but I made a couple of videos, this one being one of them, about on this thing where so many people are trying to disprove the Israelites. Bear with me one moment, Slakia. Alright, Salakia. So basically, as I was saying before, you have these so many different avenues of people constantly trying to disprove the Israelites, and as a result of that, with so many people trying to disprove the Israelites, it's like this. Oh my God. Slakia, as I was saying, you have many different avenues of trying to disprove the Israelites and just making debating being some sort of spectacle, all right? Whereas in contrast to that, you know, why can't people just be happy that rather than us desiring to be evil, rather than us desiring to want to go and try to Slakia, rather than us trying to go and be hoodlums and killers and stuff like that. What's wrong with us just allowing us to think to just say, okay, well, we're Israelites now, we're returning to the Bible and we want our people to repent? What's wrong with that? Like, in the worst case scenario, like, what is wrong with that? There's nothing objectively wrong, because that is better than going around killing people, going around hurting people, going around being drug dealers and stuff like that. The negative things that are associated with the stuff that Jake does. All right, but of course, this is where we're at. All right, and it's also people like him that is
Joe Brown. Maybe I'll tell you a whole lot.
Slacky, it's people like him that's basically set up to constantly keep us away from positive changes, where you have people like him that are paid to say, hey, tell people to stop believing in that stuff, stop doing this, just go back to the same niggardry that you're doing. Or where you try to do right in the system, and then the system constantly goes against you and stops you from doing what is right, and then your only other option is, okay, well, the system is not letting me do the quote unquote right thing. Let me go and be a drug dealer then, since the system failed me. All right, this is how they want you to be. All right, bear with me. So, as a result of that, let's go into these precepts. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? Okay, so we are supposed to be judging major important things. So how much more are we supposed to judge these smaller things? And then, as being so knowledgeable on judgment and the understanding of the scriptures, that with so much responsibility, I guess that's the proper term. How much more is the Lord expecting us to do more and to be more, where we are trying our best to change, and people are still saying that you can't change, you can't do good, you have to just stick to doing what Esau tells you to do. Esau is your daddy, keep on following him. Okay, where it's just like that's the thing. Yes, there are going to be some outliers that do succeed. All right, Salakia, one moment. Salakia, as I was saying, we're supposed to be held to such high standards of being righteous and doing right, and yet, when we try to do said righteousness, it's like, okay, well, you always have someone that gets in the way and tries to downplay us and make us say, oh, know your place, and go down back to that same lowly the lowly level of being at the bottom of the totem pole. You can't and you basically can't amount to anything. And that's the reality of it, where we are always going to be viewed as unable to amount to anything. All right, unable to amount to anything, where that's just how Esau, as well as everyone wants things to be for us. All right. Continuing on, let's go to the next precepts. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse. Hold on. I wanted what did I? Bear with me. I'm trying to look for one precept. I think it's Peter. Oh, here, Nahum. Okay, I got it. Slakia. Okay, so yeah, let's start with Nahum first. Nahum chapter 1 verse 3, the Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. So over here, another aspect of it where the Lord is slow to anger, meaning that he is waiting, letting all the wickedness that and Esau, Jacob, everyone, or Jake has done to basically pour it all on them all at once to judge them. And the thing is that just because he's making us wait doesn't mean that, let me get that as a matter of fact. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully sent to do evil. So just because the Lord isn't doing anything immediately or judging people immediately, it doesn't mean that it's the right way to live, or there's not going to be a judgment. You just have to wait, because it's going to be a lot worse down the line. All right. So, Slocky, I'm trying my best to do all this. Okay. All right, Slocky. So basically, you understand the thing where just because it's because there's no judgment immediately or quickly, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be judgment. All right. So with that being said, and the context, okay, we know that there is absolutely going to be a reward. All right. We just have to wait. We have to be patient. Okay. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 23, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Okay. This is what's going on, where the wicked is being rewarded. The wicked is getting away with their evil, and the righteous, they are being punished for being patient, being good, and sticking to the words of YAHAWAH. And this is what everyone in this society keeps on pushing. All right, so continuing on, justify the wicked for reward and take away righteousness from the way. So next, 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 3, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. Okay, so at the last days, there's going to be people that are going to be speaking out against this truth, speaking out against the words of YAHAWASHI. All right, now let me also get this. Romans chapter 3 verse 3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Yahweh forbid. Yea, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So, just because people don't believe or don't think that there's going to be a judgment, that does not mean that there's not going to be judgment. It's coming soon. It's coming sooner rather than later, and they just have to wait for up and coming judgment. All right, there's going to be judgment, and the Lord is not slack that He's going to rest judgment. Hold on, let me get that.
Have you seen those women there who were once married with those yachts and those Lamborghinis and those Range Rover Drives? And if you hear their story, oh, we don't need a man.
Let me see.
And they had a man. Oh, you paying for the ticket? Oh, let's go.
Oh, yeah. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse. Actually, I think that was.
I hope you do the best in life.
Yeah.
I personally believe that you guys have what it takes to carry feminism to another level. I hope and trust
2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning His promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but all should come to repentance. Okay, so yeah, this is Slocky. This is what I want to bring out. It's a very crazy time where we're in, where there's so many people, and this is just, it's stuff like this that we know that we're just that much closer to the end. Yahawadah, more and more prophecies pop off, and we can see the end and get out of here sooner rather than later. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHEM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHEM, RICANS, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, above the ball, and Shalom.